Hi folks, this is Karim Rauf from IT Visualizer channel. Today we will begin our 7th lab. Here we will install or promote the server we did in the previous lab, promote it to a domain controller, second domain controller, and join the domain of the transformers, and then we will install the roles of DHCP and DNS and WINS, secondary DNS, secondary WINS, and DHCP failover slave. We can say this is as a slave or master. This is the slave because the master is the first domain controller, and we will install file server role. Okay, and then we'll begin installing or preparing the department shares and the user home folder share. Okay, and then we'll begin make a quota from the file server, and then we'll begin making file screening. Okay, this is as a brief, but we will do this lab, and the next lab we will begin working with the DAC rules, dynamic access control rules, and also we will begin installing the Active Directory Right Management Service. So let's begin. Here is the video, as I said before, and repeat every video that these videos are recorded without sound, and then I begin commenting first with English and then with Arabic. So I will first power on the virtual machine, which is the first domain controller. In the previous lab we have another server created, or a second virtual machine. It didn't join the domain. Okay, so we'll power it on also. First of all, we will log into the domain controller, first domain controller. So now we will power on the second virtual machine. We have prepared this virtual machine from the previous lab. We have made the name, changed the name, and put the IP address, static IP address, and make the RAID 1 for the operating system and RAID 10 for the data volume. And we prepare everything, so we just need to go, and first of all we need to put the DNS of the domain controller so it can resolve the DNS or the domain name. It can resolve the domain name and join the Active Directory. So we will go to the setting of the network connection and put the DNS to be 192.168.2.8, which is the first domain controller IP address, which it is actually also a DNS server, Active Directory with integrated DNS. Because without putting the DNS, it will not be able to find the transformers.local domain. So you have to put the DNS. We'll open the HP team network connection properties, and then the TCP IP for properties, and then in the DNS we will put preferred DNS 192.168.2.8, and then also put the WINS. It's also the same IP address because our domain controller is also a WINS server. As I said before, WINS is a old solution used for old systems like Windows XP and Windows 7. If you need to install it, okay. If you don't need to install it, fine. But it's an old one, but still, as I said before, if Microsoft is still leaving it in the server rules, then it's still needed. So now we have the DNS and we have the wins. So now we open the server manager and install the install the Active Directory tools, and then after that we will join the domain and make this as a secondary domain controller. First of all, we just make sure before beginning the installation process to ping the first domain controller to see if there is a connection. So yes, we have a connection. It's pinging successfully. So now I open the server manager. And then we'll open the manage and then add roles and features. But still it's gathering the data, so wait for a couple of minutes. You can revise the data of the server. Here is our name. The computer name is correct and the IP address is correct. We have all of the setting done. And as for the timing and other setting, it will be automatically changed after logging in for the first time with my user admin Active Directory user, because the login script will change all of this. So don't worry about the other settings. So we'll add roles and features. We'll hit next. Click next, next, next. Then we will add Active Directory domain services. Add features. We will add also the wins. This will be secondary wins. We will have secondary wins server. Okay. We'll add the wins. Okay, and add feature. Next. Next. And then install. It will sorry, no, to not start the server. After we promote this server to a domain controller, it will restart the server. But first, let's install the tools itself. Promote server to domain controller. Okay, then we will tell him to add a domain controller to existing domain, because this is the second domain controller. You can type the name of the domain, or you can select it. First of all, you have to put the credentials, okay, that will be used to deploy or to join the domain. You have to put an admin user. I will put my admin user account. And then okay, you can type transformers, okay, but I will tell him to select and just get the correct Active Directory naming, because it's transformers.local, just to make sure everything is correct. Okay, it's transformers.local, and then okay, and then next. and put the Active Directory restore mode service. The restore mode password. This is an account that is used if there is a problem with the Active Directory. This is a mode like safe mode in Windows. It's called Directory Service mode. You can go and restore or repair the Active Directory. So you have to put a password, and from security point you have to put a complex password in all of your passwords. It's not only the Active Directory. Complex, more than 8 special characters, numbers. Okay, and then next, and then you replicate. We have only one domain controller, so you replicate to this domain controller, and then next, and we'll begin to install the Active Directory. Sorry, you begin promoting the server because you have already installed. I will install the Active Directory itself. Here we have just added the tools, and then we will install. Actually, not install the Active Directory. We will join the Active Directory, and then we are promoting this server to be a domain controller. And actually, after promoting it, it will be a secondary DNS, and the secondary wins. So after doing this, we have to go to the network connection setting and add the server IP address to be the secondary DNS and secondary wins. We will see that in a moment. We now have restarted the server after installing, or sorry, after joining the domain. Now we have the welcome login screen, and then I put my username. I am logging in for the first time, so I will apply the login script. We'll change the timing and make this PC appear on my desktop, and change this PC to be the name of the server, and change the performance setting to act as best performance, and hide the search and Cortana. This is all done through the login script. But still, because this is the first time to log in, so the notification for the registry keys will appear, but after a second restart, these notifications will not appear because the user access control will be disabled. This is the user access control. This is the service that controls these notifications. So now we have the server name appeared on the desktop. This PC is named to the name of the server. The background is there. I need just to make a small thing. I need to copy the idle logof folder, which contains the idle logof exe file. This is the name, or this is the program that is responsible for logging off the server after an idle time. I have determined it or set it to be 3000 seconds, because this folder is not on the. I just copy it from the first domain controller and put it on my second domain controller in the C destination, because the login script reads from this location. And so there is the C, and then paste. So now we will add the server manager, and then I think we will add the DHCP. But first of all, we need, as I said before, we need to add new setting to the network connection, to put the secondary DNS to be TCP IP, and then properties. Here it's 127.0.0. This is correct, but this is local adding. Just a minute. Sorry for the interruption. We'll resume our lab. So as I said before, we will put the secondary DNS in the setting of the connection and the secondary wins. So now we have two, and actually we have to do this also on the first domain controller, but I didn't do it in this lab. I will do it later in the next lab. But if you have the secondary DNS and secondary wind installed, then you need to put them in both server domain controller server network connections. I think just a minute. I think I will do it now. Just a minute, because I remember it doing it in the next lab or the next video. I think I will do it now. Yes, we have to put. So now if you see the details, now we have first 2.8 and second 2.9, or first 2.8 and second 2.9. I mean 192.168.2.8, this is the first DNS, and 192.168.2.9, this is the secondary DNS, and also the wins the same IP address. So now we'll make a replica. For the wins, it has a partner, okay, because we have secondary DNS, so it will secondary wins, so it will replicate the data between the second server. Here we have to identify the replication partner to be the second server, and I will restart the second server, the second domain controller, just to see the setting for the keyboard also, and for the notification to disappear. I'm just doing this just to show you all that the notification will not appear back for the user access control, and also for the keyboard layout to appear, because actually this is done also through the login script, but it doesn't appear from the first time. It just needs another restart. So now this is the second server. After that, we need to add the Dhcp to the second domain controller and set up the Dhcp server to be a failover cluster. You will see this. Now login back. So now the notification disappeared, as I said before, and the keyboard layout will appear as for English and Arabic Egypt. Here you go. So now I need to copy the script folder of transformers because they will use it to create the department shares and the user home folder share. And as I said before, we need to add the DHCP. And then we will make a failover. What I mean with failover, that we have two DHCP servers and clients will be divided between these two servers to take IP addresses. It's called network load balance, or sorry, it will be an option called load balancing. 50%. You can also give it the percentage how every server will issue a percentage of the IP addresses. So, for example, you can give the first server 20% and the other 50%. Sorry, 20 or 80 or 50 or 50 as you like. But you can make it 50-50. We'll add the DHCP server. Add features. I also will add the file server, file resource manager, and data duplication. This is also a feature, we will talk about it later. And file server resource manager. Then that's it. Next. Next and next. When install. You pause the video until it is installed. So now we will complete the configuration for the DHCP. We will only just authorize it, okay? We will not do any other configuration because this will be a replica, DHCP replica, or it will be the partner or the failover partner. So it will take all of the setting from the first domain controller. Okay, we will make a console. As I said before, this is a small trick. You can make a console and put all of the programs or the features of Windows that you need to use in one console or in one box. We'll put the Active Directory, and we will put I put the DHCP also, and the DNS and disk management. All what you need to manage in one console: DNS, event viewer, and file server resource manager. We'll add group policy also, and we will add the wins. Maybe add services also if there is any service need to be restarted, and we will add the wins. We just rearrange them, get everything to be in order. DHCP, and then DNS, and then the file resource manager. Okay, DNS, DHCP, file resource manager, and then the last thing is the wins. Group policy will be over DHCP, of course, and the last one is the wins will be up after the file resource manager. Okay, and then save the console. I'll put it on the desktop. Sorry for the interruption. We will continue the video. So we will save the console on the desktop. So this will be our second console. So now we need to configure the DHCP failover. We have to go to the first domain controller. Okay, and then right click IP version 4 and tell him configure failover. Okay, and next he will ask you about the partner server. This is the one will be the partner failover or the second DHCP, which is our new server that we have added now, 1.192.168.2.9. Okay, and then you tell him and then here in the relationship you tell him load balance, how much you need the server to issue IP address. The local server will be 50-50, so this will be every one of them will issue 50% of the IP addresses for the first domain controller and the second domain controller. This load balance, there is another mode called host standby. If the first domain controller failed, the first DHCP failed, then the second will go directly after it fails. But we'll make it as load balance, so both the DHCP servers will work. We put a secret password for authentication between the both DHCP servers. Okay, now we go to the second DHCP. We'll see that the setting is there. It is replicated with the scope and everything. I'll just pull. The second thing we need to do is to make the replication partner for the Wins server. We will put the IP address of the first domain controller. Okay. Tell him replicate now. So now we have both Wins server are replicated and both DHCP servers are replicated and both are standby. And the second DNS, we will see the setting. It's also replicated from the first DNS or the first domain controller. So everything seems to be in order. Now we will begin creating the department shares and the user home folder share. First of all, we need to get the script folder. Here's transformers. I'll copy it and put it on the D folder, sorry, D volume, paste. I'm just updating my source transformers script folder because I made some changes, so I needed to be updated from my source folder. So now after that we need to open the PowerShell and begin running the scripts for creating the folders and the share permissions. The share permission and the Ntfs permission we will see now in a moment. The first thing we need to do is to create the folders for the department shares. This is the script to create folders. This script here mainly, if you give him the destination, for example, you need a folder named shares, you need to inside of it to create many folders. So you give him the destination or the folder, the source folder, and then the items, how much folders will be created in it. First of all, we just need to change the location because it's not dstartrek, it's dtransformed. We'll see in a moment. I need to go and create data cube. This will be the folder that the department shares will be created in. You can go also in the script and see this script reads from a text file called folders. This contains all folders I need, and this is the second script to create the home folder for users. Every user will have his own share. It will be added with the department share. He will have a department share and has a private share. This will be added all of the users or home folders for the user will be created in this folder. We will make it as biochips. I will make it hidden. Okay, also when we share it, we'll make it as hidden so not every user can see the other user's share. So now we have the data cube that will contain the department shares, and the biochips will contain the user home folders. So now we can begin sharing. This is the user's home folder. We need to give it share permissions, full control. We'll add the domain users. Okay, first of all, we'll put $sign to make it hidden, and then in permissions we remove everyone because this is the standard, and security also to remove it, and then we'll put domain users. This is like authenticated users, all of the domain users. Give it full control so it can create the folder, okay, of the user, and then we will add TRAI user. This is also all of a group that contains all of my domain users, and then we'll add the IT to make it, every one of them will make it full control, and then the same will be added as an Ntfs permissions. Okay, we tell him edit and add the same groups and give them also full control. Full control as in full control, and then apply. Okay, close. As for the data cube, we now run the script to create the folders. As I said before, there is a script and it reads from a text file called folders. This folders contains all of the folder names I need to create. I need just to change because it's all in data cube. The script says that you will put folders in new folders in the main folder. We can say that. Okay, we'll run the script. Okay, this is the folders. If you open data cube now, we will see 8 folders is created. So we go there, D and data cube. We have these folders, all of them. This will be our department share folders. So now we have created the department share folders. We will go to the script and then we will begin. And then we'll begin making the home user's home folder. Just everything. Need to make sure that first of all we need to change the server because the share is on the second server, not the first server. And it's not Star Trek, it's Transformers. This is the location of the text file that we read the user's accounts, and from it he will create the user home folder. I have tested this before in my first video. All of these scripts I have explained one by one, and each one of them what it does. So now, or what it do, I don't know, do or does. Okay, then save, and then it will make it as an L. Okay, and then we'll run the script. As you see now, every user, it will give a notification that his home folder is created. So now this is every user, his home folder is created, and the permissions is put for it. You will see now in a moment that the home folders is created, and this text file contains the user SAM account, and then the location of this user. This is important for the script to work. Okay. So now we will open the biochips. We will see that first of all, if you open any user in the Active Directory, for example, if you open Optimus Prime, for example, one of the users, okay, if you open the profile, you will see that you will have his home folder L, and it is created by his username. Okay, and if you go to the folder of biochips, we will see that all of the users' home folders are created. So now we will go and assign the share permissions and the Ntfs permissions for the department share folders or the department folders. This is also done through a script. It's smb shares edit, and as I said before, this script will assign every group to its respective folder and give it a modify, and will give the IT group a full control, and then to remove everyone from the shares, because this is, as I said before, it's a security or it's a standard not to leave everyone in any share. Remove it. So every share will, as I said, the script is clearly says that. Okay, when we run the script, okay, so now if we get any properties of any folder, we will see that these permissions are done. This is the smb share permissions. We will go now and check. We can also do the Ntfs permissions. We will give them the same. Every group will be given to its respective share the modify permission and the IT full control. First of all, we need just to change it. Will not change the destination. It will be D data cube, and then not D star streak, it's D transformers. This is the location issue because this script was from my previous lab. I'm just changing the destinations. So we will check now to see if the SMB share or the share permissions is there. If you open, yes, it's shared already, and you open the permissions, you will see that IT is full control, and the respective group will take change. And as for the Ntfs permissions, it will be full control and modify. This is very important to have double share permissions, as we learned it from on the beginning of learning the IT, that both permissions to add a second layer of security, not only to have an SMB share, also to have a second layer of security. Okay, you will see all of this is done. Now we will give it or execute the ntfs permissions. We run the script. Okay, so now we will see also that every folder has its respective ntfs permissions. Now exit and check the permissions. Okay, if you open DataCube and cleaning, okay, and right click properties, if you see the end security, you will see that also IT is taking full control and the respective group will take modify. This is as like full control and change from the SMB share view. Okay, security judge, yes, every group, IT engineering, IT cleaning, every group. So now we need to first of all we'll give a quota. So we need that the department share, every user will have his personal or home folder to be 2 gigs. Okay, first we'll choose the quota. We need to make a quota for the users, the home folder of the user to be, no, this is first for the department share. We need the department share to be limit of 5 gigs, 10 gigs. So the total department shares all is limited to 10 gigs in total. And then we'll make for the user home folder every user to have his personal share or home folder share to be 1 gig. We'll choose the destination to be by chips, and we will add the second auto apply. That means that every user when logged in he will take 1 gig. For the first one it's on the pass, so it's called only one quota, but the other option is to give every folder or every folder created to take 1 gig. Then we make file screening. We need that all shares, we don't permit the audio and video files. We put it on the user's home folder, and we will put it on the department share folders. Okay, so now we have done the quota and this file screening. We need to work with the group policy to map this shares to the user when first login in. First login. First of all, this share will appear, the home folder, user home folder will appear as L. Okay, and other departments shares will appear as M and N and O. It depends upon which share for which department. So now we have I just make a restart so to show you all that the home folder, user home folder will appear. I can make GP updates or group policy update command, but just for the sake of refreshing everything, I will make a restart. So now we see my home folder appeared. Okay, this is the L. Let's see, so it's 1 gig. I make it 2 gigs, not 1 gig. 2 gigs. The quota also is working. So now we'll begin mapping the department shares. So every user, when he will log in, the department share will appear like the user home folder, and we'll give it a drive letter M, N, or O, any drive letter you like. So we will open the group policy and edit the mapping group policy. I'll go to the first domain control. Actually, I can change the group policy from the second domain controller. Just as you see now that the screensaver is working also. We'll go to the group policy. Because there's an issue with the sound, I'm just checking it. Okay, now we will open the group policy. And then domain, and then the group policy objects, and then the mapping policy, and edit. I'm doing this just to get the share names because we need it when changing the mapping policy. You will see now that in a moment. Okay, so now we will open maximize and then open the user configuration preferences, Windows setting, and then the mapping, drive mapping. Here this is an old one from the Marvel lab. We will get the properties. Here is the location or the share location. So we will take, and the action is to create and show this drive and show all drives. This is options. We'll take, for example, the first one is the cleaning. It's the name of the server slash the share name. This will be the location. Reconnect every time. This is to make the share there doesn't disappear. Reconnect if it's disconnected to reconnect back, and then we give it a label as cleaning. And common apply once to make it once, and item level targeting to target a specific group. If this group the user is from this group, then this map will appear, or this drive share will appear. We'll make for the cleaning one, and then user in group. Okay, apply. Okay, and they'll repeat the whole process for the remaining of all of the shares. We have about 8 shares. We'll do the same. We will change the location, the label, and the group. This is the cleaning one. Make the IT. I give it a label as an IT. Reconnect, and we'll give it as an M. And we will change the group to tr_IT. If anyone is from this group, then this share will appear for him. And we apply it once, and then reconnect. This is an IT. We need to we have done for the cleaning and for the IT. We have about 6 shares remaining. We have global share. This is a global share. This is the share that will appear for all the departments. It's like a universal share. for every department to see, global share, and we'll give it the name of global share. I have created a group called TR global share, and I had put all of my users in it, so every user in the Active Directory, this share will appear for him. Okay, global share. Okay, and apply, and then okay. So we have 3 shares. I think we have 5 shares remaining. We have medic and ship squad and security. As we see now, I am repeating the process, so nothing new. As I said before, every group, SHC, this is the group for the ship squad or ship team. So every map or every share, we will put the respective group to it. The cleaning, the TR cleaning, the IT, TR IT, ship squad, global share, cleaning TR CL. So every share will take the location, the label or the name, and the group that if this user is a member of, this share or mapping will appear for him. And as I said before, it will appear as an M. You can choose whatever drive letter you like, ML, but just be careful because you don't know how much shares you have, and you have limited number of drive letters, because there is a drive letter for the CD-ROM and there is a drive letter for the USB. So if you are working with a group policy, you need to make sure that you know how much drive letters you need and just deduct them from the rest of the drive letters. So now we can copy the same share, okay, and copy the same line and then edit the line itself. For example, I have copied the engineering line, and then I can go and change the setting. For example, I need the compact, for example. As I said before, every user, or every share will have its respective group. So now we will change the location, the label, and the group. It will be tr/_comp as abbreviation for compact, sorry. So now we're almost finished. We have about 3 shares remaining. There is also the action. It contains 4 or 5 options. 4 options: create, replace, update. Create, if it's not created for the first time, it will create it. Replace, if it's there, it will replace it. If it's an old share, and it will replace it or update it. I think there is a replace and update. There is an issue between replace and update, but mainly we create it for the first time. So we'll choose the option of action of create. Okay, and okay. For example, the show option, if you have a share folder and you need, or a mapping, for example, if you're using an application that needs a share, so you can tell him to hide this share. Okay, you need only the application to see this share. You will put it in the setup of the application, if I am imagining. So you need it to be hidden so the users don't see it, and you need only the application to see it. So you can tell him to hide this drive. It will be there, but only the application will see it. Okay, security. This is, I think, the last option, the last share. Yes, tr_sec for security. So we have 8 shares. I think there is still one remaining. It's for the medic. The label, the group. So now we have all our shares there. We need to update the group policy. But here there is a trick. You will see it now. We will open the run and then open the command prompt and tell him to update the group policy. So we can see the map or the shares to appear. I am a member of 2 groups, the tr_IT. This is the group of the IT, and tr_global share, which is the global department share. So I have the tr_IT share and tr_global share in my home folder. So we have 3 shares to appear. This is the lab scenario. I'm just revising because the next one will be, our next lab will be set up the Active Directory Right Management Service after working, after working with the then after that we will work with the DAC rules, Dynamic Access Control. So now if you open my computer, you'll see that I have the IT share, the department share, but still the global share because didn't appear because I didn't add my user to the global share group, which is called global share. I will add it now. go to the Active Directory, Transformers, and then to the security group, Cybertron, and then security groups, and we will go to the global share, TR global share group. This is the one, and we will add all of the users to it, members. We will add. I have another group that's called TR AI users. This contains all of my users. Okay, so I will add it. But there is also a mistake. I didn't add my user to the TI underscore AI users, so still I will not see the share. I didn't recognize it until I checked the group itself. Okay, as I see before here, I have my name in the IT, TRIT, so the shared appear. So now I'll make run and then command and command prompt, and then I will type the gp update /force to update the group policy. So now still the share didn't appear because my name is not in the tr underscore AI users, so I need to add it. We will open the tr AI users, this is the one, and members. We will check and see that my name is not there. I need to add it. Or I think it's there, because when I try to add it, it will say that your name is there. It is added. So the group policy is refreshed. My name is there, but to appear I need to restart the server. Sometimes the refreshing of the group policy doesn't work, so we need to restart the server. We'll pause the video until the server is restarted. So now we have the global share appeared and the IT share appeared and my home user appeared. So now the lab is finished. Until to the next lab, on the next video we will install the Active Directory Right Management Service, and then we will begin also working with, we will begin to set up the DAC rules. So until the next lab, see you soon. I will just making shutdown to my virtual machines. So now the lab is finished. Until the next lab, see you all soon.